fluffy omelette. Hi, I'm Anupa and I welcome you to Sanjeev Kapoor Khazana. I am here with my playlist of recipes for the newlyweds. New brides have a lot of pressure at home when it comes to making meals, which starts right away from breakfast, which is your first meal. So imagine if you mess up your breakfast, then your entire day is gone for a toss. So today, or rather I'll be doing a few more recipes going forward, which are specially for breakfast. I'll come up with very simple solutions for you. If you and your family members end up having a very good breakfast, your day is absolutely sorted. So today I will show you a very basic recipe, which is omelette. A simple omelette, but I will show you the right way of doing this. So to make this omelette, what all do we need? We need eggs, mushrooms, onions, tomatoes, butter, pepper powder, salt, chopped green chilies, oil and some bread slices. Okay, to start off with, we need to saute onion and the tomatoes along with mushrooms. Now in case if you do not like mushrooms, you can very well avoid it. I'm just giving a variation to this. You can also go in and add in some capsicum to this, but let's start off with some onion. So in a frying pan, take in some oil and to this we'll add in the onions. Now the onions have to be sauteed till they go translucent, and that's it, nothing more than that. The reason why we need to saute onion is that because if you don't saute them separately like this, they always stay raw in an omelette, and that gives you that crunch which is not needed. An omelette is something which is supposed to be nice, soft and fluffy. Fluffy is the right word for an omelette. So how do you make a fluffy omelette is what I'm going to show you. But before that, we need to get these vegetables sauteed. So in this we'll saute the onions and we'll saute them till they are translucent. And mushrooms is something that you can add. If you enjoy adding mushrooms, please go ahead and add lots of it. You can also add in a lot of other things, like you can add in some chopped ham or salami or sausages, whatever that you like, you can add in, but everything has to be chopped like this. So if you're adding in sausages, you need to chop it just the way you have chopped onions, tomatoes, mushrooms. Basically the cut has to be small, the particle size of this chopped vegetable has to be small. So here we've sauteed the onion, but we need to saute it a little more, but please make sure that you don't brown it. You see the onions have got translucent. Now to this I'll add in the mushrooms, and mushrooms too will have to be sauteed because they have a lot of moisture, and what happens is if you don't saute the mushrooms, they'll always leave out the moisture in the omelette, leaving it very mushy. So we don't want that. So mushrooms, either you saute them like this with the onion, or you can just boil them and keep it aside. So whichever way, but mushrooms have to be treated before it goes into the egg. Mushroom has so much of water that if you have a cup full of mushroom, when you saute it, you will be left with maybe just 2 tablespoons of it. You see this? The entire mixture has become so moist. We need to get rid of this moisture. Now to this we'll add in the tomatoes, and let's not add salt to this, we'll add in the salt to the eggs. Why? Because many a times when we do this and we forget that we've added salt to this, and we end up adding salt to the eggs as well. So what happens? You have a salty omelette. So just for that simple reason we won't add salt to this. But in case if you manage to remember that you've added salt here and not to add in there, I am fine. Okay, so we'll just mix this up well. While this is getting sauteed, let's add in some green chilies. That should be enough. And this mixture what I'm making is sufficient for about 4 people. So you don't need all of it in one omelette, you just need a little bit of this. So make this entire mixture in one go. So you have your sauteed vegetables in a bowl. All you have to do is break the egg, mix this together, fluff it up nicely and make it. Yeah, so this is done. So this mixture will need to cool. Now I have a story here to tell you. It so happened that while I was doing this one day, I made this mixture and I immediately added it to the eggs and I started making the omelette. I realized that the egg mixture had already got scrambled. Why? Because this entire mixture was so hot, the minute this came in contact with the egg, I could see a little bit of scrambled egg right in the bowl. So please be careful when you do this. This has to cool down completely. It needs to come down to room temperature, and only then we can actually mix this up with the eggs and make the omelette. So now what we'll do is we'll just let this cool, and in the meanwhile let's get our eggs ready. We'll use the same pan to make the omelette. So we'll take about 2 eggs. To this we'll add in some salt and some pepper. You can also add in some freshly chopped coriander leaves, and you need to beat this well. The eggs become fluffy only if this is also done well. You can use an egg beater, the spring beater, whatever, but as long as you just beat them well like this. Okay. Okay, now we'll switch on the gas and we'll add in some oil to this. So once we've beaten the eggs, and if this mixture has cooled, we'll add some to this. Okay, so this egg mixture is done. Now what we'll do is, we'll add this to the pan. Now once you add in the eggs, you have to scramble it like this. Okay, scramble it till it is like almost done, like this. Get it together. Okay. Now bring all of this to the corner of the pan like this, so that the omelette can roll, and you just do this. That's it. So now what happens is that the omelette inside is soft, it's fluffy, and it is semi-cooked. Now there are a lot of people who don't like their omelettes absolutely well done. This is exactly the way it should be done. Now you just leave this in the pan for about half a minute, after which you will find that the inside of the egg which we had scrambled has also got cooked. And in case if you like a very well done omelette, then you just have to keep on flipping this. But this is exactly the way it is done. And there are a lot of restaurants where you find chefs making these omelettes in their breakfast trolleys. This is how they do it. So now what I'll do is I'll switch off the heat and very carefully place it here. It may look slightly difficult, but it is not very difficult. It is all about practice. Then you take your bread pieces and apply some butter. Before applying the butter, what you should do is you should get rid of the edges. Cut them into triangles or whatever that you like. Your fluffy omelette is ready. It is slightly difficult, but this is the right technique of doing this omelette. Practice it. I am sure you may have to do this for all your family members. By the time you've made your 4th or the 5th omelette, you are an expert in this technique. So this is about the fluffy omelette. In case if you want me to show you some more recipes, do let me know and I'll be very happy to make it for you. So that's all for now. Make this recipe just the way I have made it and you will love it.